Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, November 19, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a time for change call tonight for 9:15 p.m. Eastern. We have a completed new video, about 2.5 minutes, explaining or describing the high power up food spray. So I'll tell you where to go to get that, watch it, so on. And we're going to cover the avenues of basically where do we go from here as a country, what's really happening, what's happening with the financials. I'm going to explain that, let everybody have a clear view of the collapse that's going on right now. Excuse me. You ever notice that, and this has probably been going on forever, I guess, since this species has been on this planet. Everybody wants to be extraordinary. That is the search of the ego. To be someone who is special, unique, and incomparable. This is the paradox. The more you try to be exceptional, the more ordinary you look, because everyone is after extraordinariness. It is such an ordinary desire. The very search to be ordinary is actually extraordinary, because rarely does somebody want to be a nobody. Rarely does somebody want to be a hollow, empty space. Yet, this is really extraordinary because nobody wants it. So when you become ordinary, you actually become extraordinary. Osho. Very true. Everybody, you can always tell by watching. If you're in it, you're not going to really pick up much. But when you watch it, you step out and you watch it, you can see it. You see it everywhere. You see everybody's trying to be extraordinary all the time. Some way, shape, or form. To them. Doesn't have to be. And, of course, they want society to address that or to acknowledge that. How many people want fame and adoration, attention? And then there are those of us who really don't care to have any of that. It really isn't. You can watch everybody. You watch the ones that want to be, and have the flash bulbs in their faces and everything. But it is quite interesting. The search for higher self-esteem is a highly addictive and dangerous game to play, as we are continually trying to acquire a more improved version of ourselves and are never ultimately satisfied with who we are. The more energy we put into trying to become someone better, the more we miss out on the feeling that we are enough and continue to climb up and fall down the ladder of self-esteem. You want to make sure you're in a comfortable position, no outside distraction. Relax into your body. Still as a statue, focused on your breath rising and falling. The more tightly we grip onto the beliefs and perceptions about ourselves, more rigid, complex, and crackable our self-esteem structure becomes. Eventually, when the big wind of life blows through, every idea we were clinging to is shaken off, cracked, or destroyed. It is by putting less energy and effort into becoming someone who is confident that we create more time to spend in relaxation and enjoying bathing in our spiritual core essence. By simply enjoying this truly relaxed healing space within you, you become unshakable and capable of embracing the greatest storms when they pass through. And that's what they do. Thoughts and everything. You just say, you get the thought, right? Comes in, and you can choose. Just let it pass through you. Let the thought just pass through you. And you know what's interesting? It will disintegrate. But when you take that thought and you start focusing on that thought, and you create it into your reality and experience it. Remember, thoughts are just thoughts. There's nothing to them. The only way they become something is when you give them power. That's it. See? You can start to see how we are continually creating our lives. Ironically, the most solid foundation of confidence of them all is the one which feels connected with the sadness and weakness inside our human selves. We are not avoiding, attached to, or resisting the darkness, yet are simply rooted in the strength we find in our own authenticity. It is through our vulnerability that we find true strength in ourselves, able to remain centered in the most challenging life scenarios. This confidence is the strongest because it is the most flexible, capable of dealing with change and absorbing anything that life throws its way. You ever come across anybody that you might be excited, right? And you're looking at them and going, okay, so everybody's there, right? And there's someone that's just kind of like, not a big deal. And you look and you go, they're not really getting agitated or upset or anything. They're just kind of laid back. And see, some people look at that and go, well, they're pompous and they're this and they're that. But not really. Isn't that interesting? And all of us have that capability. It's good to know that the opposite of confidence is what? Doubt, fear, hesitation, uncertainty, and cowardice. Each of these experiences is a byproduct of a tight, tense, emotional, fear-based memory that is stored inside the body. And the more integrated you become with the tension and relaxation of the tension, your entire being finds the deepest place of relaxation. And confident comes pouring through. You can see how essential it is to make time in your life to slow down from the racing mind, practice relaxing into each experience, whether good or bad. Use your breath as a vehicle to take you deeper inside, to touch everything within you, and eventually reach your innermost spiritual core. Play with the exploration, feeling the intimate spiritual connection you already have within yourself. Very soon, you'll find that this simple inquiry transforms your entire life. Now, some people would look at somebody who's self-confident and they misinterpret it and they think that they're, what? Arrogant, conceited, all about themselves, that type of thing. Because they don't comprehend what that being is experiencing for themselves. And there are arrogant and that type of attitude people. That's ego mind. And there are different applications that you can use, right? to everlasting self-confidence. Techniques I've used for a long time. Many have used these. And transforming a lifelong battle with self-esteem into one that is overflowing in a sea of self-trust, gratitude, self-love. You find this, you can discover it. A lot of people will discover it on their own, as many have. And one is the thread of breath and emotional merging. Randomly, 5, 10 times a day, feel into your connection with your breath. Relax deeply into it for at least 3 to 5 minutes. Feel into each inhalation and exhalation, expanding the belly and chest, allowing yourself to reach in and touch the deepest level of tension inside. Open up the reservoir to let your good and bad feelings come flooding in. With each breath, feel into the emotional peak and valley that currently exists in your life. Let yourself be massaged by the breath, bringing up the greatest pain and sadness inside, and let them merge with your deepest joy and bliss. Breathe into them both so they merge and dissolve into one energy. Let this mixed pool of energy dissolve back into your spiritual essence, source of pure consciousness itself, where it came from. You can imagine you are piercing the memories of your past with one thread of consciousness using your breath. And the breath will push the thread, binding the feelings and memories together, melting and melding them as one. As you feel through to the core of these feelings, they will change. And you'll naturally begin to relax deeper and discover a state of peace, stillness inside. Imagine you are rooting yourself internally in the space of stillness and deep peace, and practice living from the space as much as possible throughout your day. The breath is our greatest gateway to freedom. The more awareness we can create around our breath, welcoming its life-giving and receiving movements, the more we can relax deeper inside and trust the divine guidance of life. And this trust reaches into our innermost core. We simply let go of the traumas that run our life, find true emotional healing inside. It is from simply following and feeling into the breath that we retrain our body to relax and start connecting the more spiritual aspects of our being. From this space, being able to fully relax into our own body, a genuine confident state automatically takes over. Second, find what makes you smile. If you want a little burst of confidence right now, think about what puts a smile on your face first thing in the morning. Whatever it is, focus on it. Imagine that it is happening to you right now. Let that good feeling come flooding in and show up in your face. Then let it flood all throughout your body. Confident people are not afraid to smile. They are full of real smile. And when you start practicing your outer smile, you begin accessing your real inner smile. The part that is truly happy inside you, then there is no reason to ever fake a smile in the world again. So let your true inner smile come out and be displayed on your face this week. Let those happy feelings reach into the parts of your body that really need it. This simple technique will instantly help you to feel happy inside, which breeds a solid state of inner peace so you can access true confidence at any time. Number 3, be 100% authentic, truthful, and real with everyone. People who feel insecure and powerless in this life are usually overly occupied with what? With hiding how they truly feel. A truly confident being is unconcerned about the good and bad opinions of others. He or she is practicing authenticity because it feels good to be real. It simply feels liberating to not have to hide. And you can stop micromanaging life to be a particular way. When we have zero fear about what others might think or say, we become authentic, real, relaxed, naturally, grounded in our spiritual nature. And the more that this authentic expression becomes a habit and your home base, then everything that is false and insecure will eventually fall away. The authentic being is one who has the courage to reveal whatever they cannot talk about. There is always this movement towards a deeper sharing. Even if they feel insecure about something, the vulnerability brings out an even deeper confidence from within. An authentic being knows that it is okay to feel pain, express hard emotions, and comprehends that stuffing is the greatest cause of suffering. And when we take the risk to be real, this truth-revealing energy bonds people together, eliminating the need for superficial games which keep people locked up in their ego. We can find the sweetest joy surfaces naturally from the most simple expression of our authenticity. And 4, practice becoming very silent and still, like in these meditations. When you sit very, very, very still, like a solid, silent statue, randomly, for a few minutes every day, not moving at all, everything in your life will start to become crystal clear. As the busy begins, as the busy beings that we are, it may not come easy at first to learn how to meditate and do absolutely nothing. Yet, within this stillness, silence, there exists such a tremendous freedom. You instantly find the courage to do whatever you want in this life. And this allows the adult in you to be childlike and playful again. Now picture yourself, you're traveling down the road, and you say to yourself, your childlike self says, you see a swing set or a playground, right? And this thought comes in to you. Okay? I don't care how old you are, it doesn't make any difference. And you think for just, it's kind of brief, it'd be kind of neat to pull over there and sit on the swing. And then, of course, ego mind comes in and says, you can't do that. You're too old for that. You're an adult. You can't be doing that stuff. You keep driving. You keep traveling down the road. And then you say, you know what, I'm gonna go do that. You be childlike and playful again. This allows the adult in you to be childlike and playful again. In total silence, you get in touch with the spiritual core of you. You discover the naturally confident and charismatic being you truly are inside. By quieting your mind chatter, you let go of all efforting, especially trying to be confident. You start to sink deeper into your all-expansive, infinite spiritual nature. Here, you engage with everyone in life from a divine perspective, seeing the spiritual essence within them. And thus life begins meeting you on the same level. So my invitation is to commit to sit in total silence for at least 5 to 10 minutes a day. Eventually, the mind will get rooted and become quieter inside with practice. The more often you sit still, the more clear the mind will get. And you will see who and what you truly are, as well as where you are going in your life. And from this space, you are more effective in the decision and actions you choose throughout the day. Living your life from this silent space, you will begin feeling more guided, connected, aligned with the mysterious unfolding of the universe within you. Success is a journey, not a destination. Half the fun, getting there. Gita Billen. And this is bigger than taking on a perpetual self-esteem project that is never fully satisfied with the end result. I want you to realize the truth of who you are. I want you to see this spiritual being inside you, who is all-powerful, deeply eternal loving, and free from all doubt, insecurity, and fear. Now, through following these 4 steps that I just shared with you, every day, you will become the number one priority in your life, and discover how easy it was to become a naturally confident being again. Take the risk today. Take on this enlightening approach now by opening yourself on an entirely new dimension to new sources of confidence inside you. Life becomes a truly magical experience. Misery does not exist in reality, but only in mere imagination. Sri Ramana Marie. And after all, we are on a highly charged spiritual evolution as a species, as a civilization on this planet. Because all the things that you witness, minute to minute, hour by hour, second to second, are creations. And those creations came where? From thoughts. Everything that you see came from thoughts. Came from thoughts that we gave power to. And we brought them into our reality. Interesting, see, you, all of us, our natural state of being is self-governing. What does that mean? It means that we lead ourselves through our greatest guide, the God that we are, within these bodies. We never needed to be led. Okay? None of us did. And one might say, well, what happened? We forgot who and what we are. That's what happened. We embraced physical material life so much that we lost our awareness of the God that we are in these bodies. Do I so many of us feel lost, confused at times, angry, not knowing why, frustrated, bored with life, right? Bored with it. I can't see how anybody could be bored with this life. There is so much that it contains. Now, let's say you go to bed every night, right, and you're breathing easy and all this stuff. Then you get sick and you can't sleep and you're not breathing easy and you get congestion and you don't pay attention until something occurs that disrupts your regimen. You take the regimen for granted until something disrupts it. And then when something disrupts it, all you say to yourself is, man, it'd really be nice to go to bed at night and have a good sleep without the congestion, stuffiness, and pain. See? And then when it's gone, we go right back into what? Complacency. Regimen. All of us do it. None of us are exempt from it. We've been doing it for generations. Only when something comes up that draws our attention to something we have taken it for granted forever, we all of a sudden realize in that moment, we'll say to ourselves, well, it'd really be nice if I could breathe easy again. Right? But only when things come in, not when you're just kind of smoothly stepping along, where you say to yourself, I am deeply grateful for every step I take today. Because, you look at that and then all of a sudden you have no use of your legs. Right? This happens all the time on this planet. And then you realize how valuable your legs were. And the gratitude that you now show when you could walk. Same with eyesight, same with all of the functions in these bodies. And we take, most of us take everything for granted. And when I talk about being in gratitude 24/7, it's exactly what I mean. Where you get into an automation with yourself, not because, I should probably be grateful for that. You just say it during the course of your day, like I've said several times. You say to yourself, deeply grateful for the very moment I'm in. And all of us ever will have is the now. Every one of us only have the now. Don't have tomorrow. We do not have yesterday. It has already passed. We only have the now. See that all the pointers point to us moving into the now, practicing staying into the now, moving into our core being within these bodies to touch the gods that we are. And then after that, embrace those gods, merge with the God, and become the God again. That's what all this is about. Now, most of us will spend our lifetimes running away from that. Now, do we do it on purpose? No, we don't do it on purpose. We don't comprehend it. We run away from it. People, the term tree huggers. Oh, look at all those tree huggers. Oh, they're hugging trees. Okay. That's becoming, that's not a spectacle. That's becoming common. People connecting with the planet, people connecting with the soil beneath their feet. The energies, the ions that come from the planet herself are deeply healing. And what have they taught us to do? Cover our bodies, wear something on our feet all the time, right? What we do. Separate us from the earthly energies this planet has for us. You ever notice animals? You ever been on a farm? Years ago, I had a farm once. And you'll notice the animals they'll lay out in the dirt, and they lay down, they sleep, and they're much more relaxed. They're not as agitated. They play, they frolic. A lot different than being contained, right? Really is. A lot different than being contained into a dwelling or something. Just like us. Most of us do not get out. We don't. We run our errands, we do this, we do that. Most of us are cooped up in office buildings, like little insects, and doing the bidding of those that are over us. True, that's what we do. And then we go through a process. After we hit about 40 years old, things start to show up. And more of that's happening on the planet. Things start to show up. Like what? Well, physical things, Oh, I never had this before. What the heck is this? I never had this before. What the heck is this? Period. Right? So we go, wow. Realization of the self is realization of God. It is not an experience of God. Rather, it is a comprehension that one is God. Remembrance. It's almost like we're in this big incubation chamber. All of us. Grand incubation chamber called humanity. That is designed specifically to bring the state of self-realization into our hearts and minds. Every being, every one of us is a teacher in this mass school, guiding us to finding our spiritual path and discover what it truly means to be enlightened. Every single being, situation, event, and circumstance in your life today is offering the perfect ingredients necessary for you to get rooted, grow, blossom into your greatest potentiality. You're kind of like baby eggs, each destined to hatch, break free from our ego shell, and enjoy this extremely alive, conscious, and deeply juicy existence. And as always, there is nothing, absolutely nothing missing for enlightenment to find its way to us. All our problems, missed opportunities, challenging life circumstances are the perfect, sacred situations deliberately designed to inspire us to build our deepest connection, source, and harness a radical creativity. Without these sacred situations, we would be missing something that is like fertilizer. And these essential stinky nutrients that make one deepen, evolve, and grow, life is perfect just the way it is. And you are perfect just the way you are, with all your desires and attainments, joys, sorrows, securities, and insecurities. Join in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. Take an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body, focused on your breath, rising and falling. Yes, you are awake. Each moment there is an awake, aware energy here now. Know that this cannot change. Rest deeply in this knowingness. It will create a transformation in your being. It is exactly what you will need today for transcending. Your very next unconscious, momentary lapse of mental jargon. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, the following morning. We'll return here tonight, Wednesday, November 19th, after 9:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our Time for Change call. And Thursday, November 20, 2025, at 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our Global Guided Meditation call. And Friday, our Reverse Aging Health call, and all the rest. Be gentle, kind, generous, humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on within you or outside of you. Open your heart. Allow the magic, the bliss, the joy, the happiness, the peace to flow in